guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna talk about one guy who, he's also being removed from social media. Most of you guys should know him, but for those of you who don't know him, his name is Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is a professional kickboxer. Rich guy. He played with stocks. He made lots of money. He also has, or I should say had, a talk show. He was on TV. He appeared on Big Brother like back in 2016. So he's being removed from most social media platforms: TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, probably Instagram, probably Twitter if he's on Twitter. Um, and he's being kicked out because they call him misogynistic. They're calling him offensive. And the way he talks is very, very realistic. He had a last message put out, I think it was like a day or two ago, about why he's being censored or removed. But he talked about something of how he grew up. He grew up in Chicago. He moved to England. He was bullied in Chicago, but he was not bullied in England because how he handled him being bullied in Chicago. You guys should watch his video when you get a chance. It was actually a pretty interesting video. It was about an hour-long video, but it was pretty interesting. But let's read this from New York Times. Why social media sites are removing Andrew Tate's account. TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook have taken down accounts belonging to Mr. Tate, a 35-year-old British American. He's not British. Okay. His mom was British, by the way. Andrew Tate, a former professional kickboxer who frequently made misogynistic comments about women online, has been barred in the last week from Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok after concerns about his influence on his millions of followers escalated. Mr. Tate, 35, first gained mainstream media attention after appearing on the reality television show Big Brother in 2016. He has since carved out a space online where he claims to know the secrets to wealth and makes hateful comments. Among Mr. Tate's comments, he has said women who are raped are partially responsible for the attacks, described in detail how he might attack women and criticize people who seek mental health treatment. In a YouTube video posted on Tuesday, Mr. Tate addressed the social media bans and said clips of his comments have been taken out of context, which usually they are. Majority of the time they are, by social media, by media, by everybody else who want to push a narrative. And it goes by how he became popular. Mr. Tate, who is a British and American, has competed internationally as a professional kickboxer, but it was his appearance on the British television show Big Brother 6 years ago that gave him a platform and provided footer for British media. He was removed from Big Brother after The Sun, a British tabloid, showed producers a video of him hitting a woman with a belt. Mr. Tate said at the time and in the video on Tuesday that it had been a consensual act. He has since built a following online, yada 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 yada, appearing on this is interesting. He has since built a following online by posting YouTube videos and appearing on podcasts, including the Alex Jones Show. The far-right figure, Mike Cernovich, known for, among other things, promoting the Pizzagate conspiracy theory, appeared on Mr. Tate's podcast this year. There we go. Come on, why don't you just say that from the beginning? You morons. In one video Mr. Tate recorded while sitting in a bed, he described keeping a machete by his bed and what he would do if a woman accused him of cheating. It's bang out the machete, boom in her face, and grip her up by the neck. You know what? I'm going to stop reading right here. If you take everything everybody says literal, then we're going to have a problem. It was that movie with Bruce, not Bruce, what's his name? Uh, Gosh, what's his name? What's his name? Uh, Cruz. Yeah. Minority Report, where they saw in the future where a crime was going to happen. And this kind of stupid reporting is basically what the problem is. Tom Cruise, that's his name. So they're being these morons. They're being Minority Report people, basically, where they take something some guy says and turn it around as like, oh, he said he's gonna take out a machete and bang, hit her in the head, and that's so violent. Then if that's the case, don't make horror movies then anymore. Do not make scary movies, because it's full of those. Horror movies is full of these disgusting actions, right? Mass murderers, there are rapists, there's a whole bunch of stuff in these movies. So why isn't Hollywood being targeted for this kind of stuff? Just because Hollywood also has millions of followers. So why isn't Hollywood being targeted for this? Just because a guy says something doesn't mean that he's actually going to do it. A lot of people say something that they don't mean. It doesn't mean that they're actually going to do it. People say, oh, I wonder what happens if I rob a bank. Does that mean he actually going to rob a bank? No. The guy says, I have a machete next to my bed. And if a girl accuses me that I'm going to cheat on her, that I've cheated on her, I'm going to hit her in the head. What girl? Which girl? You can't just say everything. You can't just take everything out of context. So, with this guy, he based on his story, he came from a broken home. Parents got divorced. He lived with his mom. He stood up for himself. He didn't get bullied and whatnot, and he got to where he got through hard work, and he made a lot of money doing it. And he found his platform. He found his voice, and he took advantage of it. He's an opportunist. Can't hate the guy for that. He has millions of followers. Can't hate the guy for that. He says outrageous things. Can't hate the guy for that. If you hate the guy so much, don't follow him. Just because, and that was the key, because the Alex Jones thing is where things started. He's being removed because he affiliated himself with Alex Jones. He was talking to Alex Jones. That's where the issue started. That's where he's being canceled. It's not because of the stuff that he said. They're twisting it that way so they can make a justification that he's promoting hate speech. But it's more because of Alex Jones' affiliation. That's my opinion of it. So they're removing videos. They're going to remove him from platforms. They have, I think they've blocked his payment methods, his payment system, his email accounts. They're like going all out. They're like blocking him left and right on most all platforms. But he made a quote, and I think it was great. He said, for those people who are actually canceling his accounts, they're the weak-minded, pathetic individuals who just sit behind a monitor and just click the mouse. They're not real people. They're real people, but they just don't have a real life. They're just a bunch of losers, and I happen to agree with him, because it's one thing that you say something online or on camera, but it's another thing that you don't back it up outside of the lens. So, for people who know me, I say the same thing on camera, off camera. My beliefs on camera are off camera. He said he's a person of color. I'm an immigrant. He said he got bullied. I was bullied. But you know what? It comes to to a point where you have to put yourself at a state of mind that you can't keep complaining about things. You have to take actions. So sometimes those actions take a while to come out. It doesn't happen instantly. It happens over a certain amount of time. Everybody lives differently. Everybody has had different issues, different troubles, many things. But for them to cancel this guy because of how he spoke, he had guests on his show, and those guests were always more than welcome to get up and walk away. They didn't have to take his beating or his misogynistic, so-called misogynistic views or whatever. But it comes to show that how they take clips out of his shows and out of his talks and manipulate it, just like they do for politicians, right? They take like a 5-second clip. Oh, he said this. Oh, he did that. Oh, blah 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 blah. So anyways, guys, I just want to talk about this because I think it was very interesting how they're starting again to silence the conservative viewpoints. I mean, this guy, if you've seen his videos and his talk shows, he's very straightforward. He tell you things the way it is. Even to his guests, he always had women, almost all women on his shows, and he would talk to them and put them on the spot if they just made stupid comments, I guess. So yeah, don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe, guys. So leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Peace out.